Morning. Good morning to you. Charles here. You haven't seen me for a bit, but I want to talk to you today. We got some serious stuff to talk about. I don't know if you've been watching the news. If you've watched the international news, you've seen what's going on over here in southeastern Europe, here in Serbia, and in this region. Okay? I'm not going to do a lot of my opinions on this, because I don't want to be involved in it. It's not my business, it's Serbian people's business. But listen to this. Here's what happened. 2 days ago, Serbian President Tomislav Nikolic signed an agreement with NATO. NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. He signed an agreement that allows them passage through Serbia, exclusion from Serbian law, no tariffs, no payments of any sort on their on their movement between nations, whatever. Okay? That happened. So, let's think. For many of you, I want you to just open your mind here for a minute. Why is that a big deal? For most of you who are watching, you probably think it's not. What's the big deal? That's nothing. Who cares? So what? The Serbian Prime Minister said those who disagree with this agreement that we signed want to take our country back to the 17th century. Okay? So the President, your leaders are for this. Okay? So now, those of you who don't know anything about NATO, what NATO did over here, you need to think for a minute. So let's forget everything. Let's just pretend. And I'm not getting political here. I want you to think here. It's all about you thinking here. I want to try to put ourselves in the Serbian people's shoes and just see how we would feel. Let's pretend we're from the USA. Okay? USA, one little part of the southern part, kind of a triangle place, like Texas. Let's say it's inhabited by lots of Hispanics, which it is. They have lots of children. And they populate it, overpopulate it, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, we're Hispanic, we want our own country, we don't want to be part of you, United States. We, the American people, the government of the United States, we say, huh, excuse me, we're the United States of America, we took this from Mexico, you are ours, you can't run off, you can't leave us, it's ours. So we have a war, we fight, people get expelled from Americans living here and Hispanics getting here. Terrible atrocities occur, because that happens all the time. In our Civil War we had some of the worst, disgusting atrocities ever. Just sick, twisted people doing sick, twisted things when they have the right to do it during a conflict. But the regular armies are doing what armies do. Then a big power, let's say Serbia is a big power. They come over here to our country. They say, hey, this region of your country is not your country. That is the Free Republic of Texas. It's not your business. Stay out of there. End this war now and let them be free. We, as in America, we as American people, we say, fuck you, who are you? You're from the other side of the world. Get your ass back to the other side of the world, people. But Serbia says, no. They bomb us. They bomb our infrastructure, our bridges, our roads, our factories, some hospitals, some trains, destroy almost everything for 3 months, starting on March 24th, 1999, till June of 1999, they bomb everything. Finally, we don't have the power to keep up with these powerful Serbians, so we pull our troops out of there, but we still consider this ours, okay? This country that attacked us, Serbia, let's say now, still to this day, this was in 1999 they bombed us, up to 2016, they still keep forces here because we still don't recognize Texas as being free. We considered it ours. So Serbia has stationed their troops here, fighting against anything that we were to do here in our land. Okay? Then our President of the United States, these people that are here holding us back from taking our land and that bombed us and killed 2,000 of our people. Then our president signs an agreement that says, hey, these people can come through here, they'll be excluded from international law and such as that. How would you feel? How does that make you feel? Let me tell you how that would make me feel as an American person who lived in Illinois. If I heard on the news that my president signed an agreement to allow a country that attacked us, that killed 2,000 of our people, destroyed all of our infrastructure, threw our economy back 30 freaking years, I would be pissed, I would be scared, I would be nervous, right? You probably would too. So then, I'm not putting down your political leaders. I'm wanting you to think for yourself, to put yourself in a Serbian shoe, because yesterday there was a massive protest here in Serbia. I was in Belgrade, there was about 2,000 some people, that's what some media reports, I don't know how many, but about 2,000 people with all these Russian flags, Vladimir Putin for president, Medvedev for prime minister, expel NATO ASAP, all these marching through the middle of the street, ended up at the Russian embassy, singing songs, begging Russia for help. How would you feel if you put yourself in those people's shoes? I can kind of understand it. Their dismay, their shock, they're just thinking, what is going on here? And then, we're not finished yet. Then, yesterday, 2 days after they signed this very controversial agreement in Libya, Libya and Serbia, before I tell you what happened, Libya and Serbia used to have wonderful relationships, okay? Tito, the former leader of Yugoslavia, Serbia was the main part of Yugoslavia, the leader, Josip Tito and Muammar Gaddafi were good friends. Things were great between them. Libya was a very powerful, wealthy country at the time. They used to bring their troops here to train in Serbia, and lots of exchange, imports, exports, lots of good cooperation between the two countries. USA and NATO, we don't like Gaddafi. We get rid of Gaddafi. I don't like Gaddafi either. As a Western, so I disagree with my Serbian people on some of that. I got many Libyan friends, and I'm not a Gaddafi supporter, but that doesn't matter. Who cares about me? We're thinking here still. Serbia and them used to have a good relationship. Then we remove the leader that liked Serbia. Now there's chaos there, okay? Serbia has an embassy still in Libya, and two of their people that work at the embassy, a young lady named Slađana and a truck driver named Jovica, they were kidnapped by some of these rough riders that are trying to take over Libya because they have no central government. They kidnapped two Serbians from the Serbian embassy. Okay, the Serbian government's trying to work with him. Since November of last year, the Serbian government's trying to get these two people freed. Then, yesterday, NATO and the USA go in, we blow up a huge building there, just bomb Libya. 49 people killed in the northwestern part of Libya, a little city, I don't remember the name of it. It started with an SH. Never heard of it before. We bomb a building because there's terrorists are holding hostages there. So we bomb this building, we kill 49 people. 2 of those people we killed were Serbian people from the Serbian embassy that Serbia's been trying to get back from these terrorists. The same people, we just signed an agreement to allow them to come through our country and to be excluded from our laws. Then they killed 2 of our embassy people. What do you think? What are you thinking to yourself? You're scared to death, I'm sure. And you're just in awe. What is going on here? What in the world is happening? So, back to this situation here. I'm not commenting on it because I'm from a NATO country. I don't think, in all honesty, I don't find them extremely evil. I don't think they're a totally evil entity. I don't like them, though. But I think NATO should be disbanded, actually. But I can totally understand the Serbian people's point. Serbia, even back in Yugoslavia, it was always a neutral type person. They created the non-aligned movement. They didn't align themselves with the USA after World War II. They didn't align themselves with Russia. They stayed in the middle. They had lots of support from third world countries, from these smaller countries, because they didn't want to get involved. They didn't want to take sides. recently, the West, the European Union, Europe, and the United States has been trying to, we're the ones that hurt Serbia in the 1990s. And now we're the ones saying, oh, come with us, come to the European Union, come on, we're friends, come in here. And Russia, the whole time, has been somewhat of a friend to Serbia. They didn't really assist Serbia too much at that time. Serbian people are infatuated with Russia. I'm not so much. But I understand Serbia's view. I'm not looking at it from my opinion, I'm looking at it from a Serbian. Russia hasn't attacked them. Russia is the same faith. Putin is outspoken on Kosovo, a lot of that. So they look at him as a friend, as someone they can lean on and have support them in their time of need. But we, who've attacked them, are trying to take them. Hey, come with us, we're better, we're safer. And then the people are like, safer? How can we trust you? You attacked our country. So anyway, that's it, my friends. I just want you to put yourself in someone else's shoes, because every single international conflict, there's two sides, okay? And we are fed, usually, on media. It doesn't matter if we're in the USA or we're right here in Serbia. We're fed one side of this story. And then they want us, of course, the media and all of them have government involvement and big corporate profits, weapons manufacturers and stuff that control these people. And what we see on the media, they want us to believe a certain way, folks. Okay, but we can't do that. We've got to avoid it. We've got to take ourselves and understand that view we see on the media, but then find out the other people and think, why are they thinking this way? Why are they protesting against NATO? Why are they doing this and that and that? And when you think about stuff, it's not so difficult to understand, my friends. And I'm just a stupid American that knows very, very little about anything. And I came up with this little bit of genius today. Anyway, my friends, that's it. That's what's happening over here. Also in the southern region of Serbia, Kosovo, there's been lots of upheaval also recently. Tear gas has been shot a couple times in their parliament because there's lots of upheaval down there in their government, because there's a very extremist element of the Kosovo government, a movement. They do not support any Serbian districts, because some of these big organizations are telling Kosovo they must have Serbian districts or whatnot in their country. What would you call that word? Enclave. Well, there is enclave. That's where minority groups would settle. Like a Serbian governmental type, autonomous type region thing is what they're wanting to create, and the Kosovo people don't want that and all that, so it's creating upheaval. So there's lots of issues over here currently. And I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee, having a shot of Dunya Rakia and eating some Cheez-Its. American chip, my favorite. So thank you, Tomislav Grohovac. Love these things. That's it, my friends. Hope I didn't offend you. Hope I didn't annoy you. If I annoyed you, you just shut it off. Anyway, that's it. Don't be Virginia.